Sure, here's a story based on that title. Galactic Council declares war, humanity barely notices. The proclamation echoed across the cosmos, sent to every corner of the galaxy. It was a declaration steeped in ceremony, delivered by a towering Ezerian ambassador with shimmering, translucent skin and a voice like chimes in the wind. The Galactic Council, representing all advanced civilizations of the galaxy, hereby declares war upon the Terran species for their repeated violations of interstellar accords. Effective immediately, all Council members shall mobilize against this threat. It was broadcast to over 100 trillion beings across thousands of star systems. Responses ranged from outrage to solemn agreement, all directed toward the seemingly indifferent upstart species on a backwater world called Earth. But on Earth, the news barely registered. "Hey, did you hear about the Galactic Council thing?" Mark was lounging on his couch, controller in hand, eyes glued to his game. His roommate, Carla, stood in the doorway, holding her phone with a bemused expression. "Yeah," Mark replied, not looking up. "Something about war, right? Apparently, the whole galaxy is declaring war on us." "Huh? Did they say why?" "Something about disregarding trade agreements and refusing to participate in the council." Mark shrugged. "Figures, we've got our own stuff going on." The council had expected humanity to respond with fear or defiance. They anticipated fiery speeches, mass mobilizations, and desperate pleas for peace. Instead, humanity treated the declaration like a minor inconvenience. On Earth, governments issued perfunctory statements, but there was no mass panic. The media covered the story briefly before shifting back to celebrity scandals and sports. The average person was more concerned about the weekend weather than interstellar warfare. "What are they even going to do?" Carla asked during dinner. Mark speared a piece of steak. "No idea. They don't seem to understand how far away they are. Most of their ships take decades to get here. By the time they arrive, we'll have upgraded everything 10 times over." "And what about their weapons?" Mark chuckled. "Most of their tech is centuries behind ours. They think we're primitive because we don't attend their fancy galactic parties. Meanwhile, our engineers are building FTL drives that make theirs look like steam engines." The Galactic Council's fleet began its journey toward Earth, comprising ships from dozens of species. It was a sight to behold: massive dreadnoughts bristling with weapons, sleek interceptors darting like schools of fish, and carriers teeming with alien warriors. By the time they reached the Sol system, they were unprepared for what awaited them. Earth's orbital defenses activated before the Council fleet could even announce their arrival. AI-controlled drones swarmed their ships, disabling critical systems with precision strikes. Humanity's latest railgun platforms fired projectiles at near-light speed, obliterating the largest dreadnoughts in seconds. The battle was over before it began. On Earth, people barely noticed. "Didn't you say something about the Council attacking us?" Carla asked a week later. Mark, scrolling through his news feed, nodded. "Yeah, they sent a fleet. It's already over. We won." "That fast?" "Apparently, our defense AIs handled it, barely a scratch on our side." Carla sipped her coffee. "Well, that's good. Wanna go to the beach this weekend?" "Sure." In the ruins of their fleet, the surviving Council members sent a final message to humanity. "We underestimated your strength. We seek peace." Earth's response came days later, written in a casual tone. "Cool, don't start anything next time, we're busy." And with that, humanity went back to its games, its beaches, and its quiet domination of the stars. The end. Part 2, The Galactic Aftermath. The destruction of the Galactic Council's fleet sent shockwaves through the cosmos. News spread like wildfire, reaching every star system under Council influence. Entire civilizations, once aligned against humanity, began to reconsider their stance. On Xanax 4, a meeting of the Unified Trade Consortium was in chaos. "They wiped out the fleet in hours," shrieked Minister Gloater, his bioluminescent tendrils flickering in agitation. Ambassador Shara of the Venlixians tapped her mandibles thoughtfully. "This changes everything. The humans are far more advanced than we believed. Why did they never share their technology with us?" "Because they don't care about us," Gloater snapped. "They've ignored our overtures for decades. They see us as irrelevant." "Perhaps," Shara said, "it is we who must adapt to their ways, not the other way around." Meanwhile, On Earth, humanity was hardly aware of the galactic scramble to appease them. Mark and Carla were at the beach, enjoying a lazy afternoon. The sun glinted off the waves as they discussed their next trip, perhaps a jaunt to Mars or a vacation on one of Jupiter's floating resorts. Carla's phone buzzed. She glanced at the screen. Looks like there's a message from the Galactic Council? Mark raised an eyebrow. What do they want now? She read aloud. We humbly request a diplomatic meeting to discuss terms of peace and potential collaboration. Signed, Supreme Chancellor Vortex. Sounds boring, Mark said. What's for lunch? Back in Council space, desperate attempts to make peace with humanity were underway. Ambassadors from countless species brainstormed ways to appeal to the Terrans. We should offer them exclusive trade rights, one suggested. Or access to our archives of ancient galactic knowledge, another added. Chancellor Vortex sighed. None of that will work. They're not interested in what we have. They've already surpassed us in every measurable way. What do you propose, Chancellor? Vortex hesitated. We need to understand them. Their culture, their motivations. Why they seem so indifferent to the galaxy. Perhaps then we can find common ground. Unbeknownst to the Council, a small delegation of human diplomats was already en route to their capital. The delegation, composed of 5 representatives, arrived in a sleek, unmarked ship. Their leader, Dr. Elena Vasquez, stepped onto the Council's ceremonial platform with a confident smile. Thank you for inviting us, she said, her voice calm but commanding. Chancellor Vortex greeted her with a mixture of relief and trepidation. We are honored by your presence. Please, allow us to explain our position. Elena held up a hand. No need. We understand why you declared war. You thought we were a threat because we didn't play by your rules. But here's the thing, humanity doesn't need the Council. We've grown beyond it. The Council chamber fell silent. You're not our enemies, Elena continued. Frankly, you're not even our competition. But we're willing to work with you, on our terms. Back on Earth, Mark and Carla watched the live broadcast of the meeting. Looks like they're finally starting to get it, Carla said. Mark nodded. Took them long enough. So, about that Mars trip. Let's book it for next weekend. And as humanity continued its casual rise to dominance, the galaxy learned to adapt, not by challenging Earth, but by finding a way to coexist with the unstoppable force that humanity had become. To be continued. Part 3, Humanity's Terms. The Galactic Council deliberated long into the night after drive. Elena Vasquez left their chamber. For the first time in centuries, they faced a civilization that not only didn't need them but had casually rendered their war efforts meaningless. Do we accept their terms? Asked High Magistrate Frolic, his fur bristling nervously. We must, Chancellor Vortex replied. The alternative is extinction. But their terms are unconventional, said Shara of the Venlixians. They're human, Vortex said with a weary sigh. Nothing about them has ever been conventional. Back on Earth, the announcement came through in the most human way possible, a meme. A holographic banner appeared across social media platforms, reading, Galactic Council agrees to chill, humanity wins again. It was followed by a video of Drive, Vasquez outlining humanity's terms. Effective immediately, she said with a sly grin, humanity will no longer be subject to arbitrary council regulations, will share technology and resources on a case-by-case basis, trade routes will remain open, but only on our schedule, and stop sending us all those bureaucratic memos, we don't read them. The video cut to footage of Earth's vibrant cities, orbital shipyards, and colonies on distant planets. Work with us, and we'll help you advance. Work against us, and, well, you saw what happened to your fleet. The video ended with a simple message, let's keep it friendly, folks. In the following months, the galaxy underwent a transformation. Human engineers began working with alien species to improve infrastructure, boost energy production, and modernize starships. Trade flourished as humanity's superior tech became available to those willing to cooperate. But humanity's influence wasn't just technological, it was cultural. On the lush world of Zethrin, a group of young Tauthians gathered in a holographic cafe. They sipped drinks and discussed the latest Terran trends. Have you tried this thing called pizza? One asked, his fronds quivering with excitement. Another pulled up a projection of a human music festival. Their music is wild, It's like they channel raw chaos into harmony. And their sense of humor, the first added, they laugh at everything, even their own doom scenarios. Across the galaxy, similar scenes played out. Humanity's art, cuisine, and irreverent attitude were reshaping civilizations. Not everyone embraced the changes. In the Outer Rim, a coalition of species formed a resistance group, calling themselves the Purists. They decried humanity's influence, claiming it eroded traditional values and independence. They mock our ways, thundered their leader, General Zoroth. They twist our culture into their image. We must fight back before it's too late. But even among the Purists, dissent grew. Why fight them? One young lieutenant asked. Their technology could solve our resource shortages. Their ideas could revitalize our people. General Zoroth silenced him with a glare. They are a contagion. They must be stopped. Humanity, of course, noticed the Purists. One day, a small task force arrived at the Purists' stronghold, led by a single Terran diplomat. They offered a deal. Join us, and we'll help you thrive. Refuse, and, well, we'd rather not waste our time explaining the alternative. The Purists hesitated, their defiance wavering in the face of overwhelming power. Finally, General Zoroth growled, "What are your terms?" The diplomat smiled, "Just one, don't be jerks." Back on Earth, Mark and Carla watched another broadcast. "Looks like the Purists caved," Carla said, munching on popcorn. Mark shrugged, "Figures, everyone caves eventually. Anyway, ready for the Mars trip?" "Yeah, let's go. I hear they've got a new pizza place." And so, humanity continued its casual dominance of the galaxy, not through conquest, but by being utterly unbothered, hilariously innovative, and undeniably irresistible.